It's a beautiful May day here, Zone 6 in Niagara County, New York. I'm gonna take you around my yard here. Show you a few of my gardens. Perhaps give a little explanation of the plants. I reworked this one a little bit from last year. Had a lot of sedum ground cover and I wasn't in love with it, so I ripped it out and gave it more kind of like a desert type vibe. So here's some yuccas. These are gloriosas. I got these from Tim. Actually, most of my yuccas came from Tim in Massachusetts. He's in a similar zone. I believe he's a little warmer than me probably. But yeah, most of my yuccas came from him and some from Jim Kelly as well. Here's a lot of cacti. The humifusas in the back, I don't like those very much. I'm slowly trying to get rid of them. I like this one right here. This one doesn't get all floppy and lay down and look dead like the humifusa does. Also this one has magenta type flowers. I haven't seen a flower yet, but maybe this year. Here's a little barrel type one, slowest grower. It's been there for probably 4 years, and I mean it's miniature, but it's cool that it survives here and it's just different and unique. Got a weeping blue atlas cedar there, it's coming along. More yuccas. I think those are gloriosas as well. And there's some recurvifolia in the back right there. There's my that's a pup for my Mimosa that's out front here. Brought that indoors over the winter. Some more gloriosa, weeping white spruce. Stay super narrow. Love those ones. More Yuccas. Got some more boxwoods over here. Vinage going on. Japanese maple out front, just planted that last summer. These are those tall boxwoods, but it's looking super unkempt right now. It should straighten out after it flushes out. What is this? Oh yeah, this is an Alaskan cedar. Super narrow cultivar. I think it's called Vandeneker. Here's my trachea. This is, at this point, this is the only plant I protect in my yard because it would just not, there's no way it would survive here. I'm in a zone 6 and I think these are rated for what, maybe zone 8 or something. A wall of ivy here. A lot of people don't like this ivy, but here it's not as invasive as it is down south. It's very controllable here. Kryptomeria Japonica. Can't remember the cultivar name on this. This is Forever Goldie, arborvitae. Some type of dwarf blue spruce. Another Forever Goldie. These are real pretty. They keep their gold color pretty much year round. It just gets a little more rusty looking in the winter time. Like this area is a mess, obviously, but here's a cherry tree. I'm hoping to get some actual cherries this year if the squirrels and birds stop taking them. It's got a bunch, but what happens is they just freaking decimate it. They come along and just steal everyone when they're not even ripe yet. Bastards. Another weeping Atlas cedar cultivar. Here's an Cuba japonica. No protection at all. Survived pretty well, I'd say. These are the old leaves, and they don't look too bad. These needle palms didn't do well. Not at all. This one looks to be alive still, but the one in the back, I would say, is dead. Yeah, it's just pulling right out. Tons of ferns through here this year. I planted like one and they just spread like crazy, but that's all right. I think they look pretty good. Blue spruce. I'm training this one to like a bonsai type look. You know, so in 10 years it should look pretty cool. Here's a weeping redwood. Super slow grower, but it survives here so far. So far, so good. I haven't seen any mature specimens in the area. Well, actually, let me take that back. I've seen one in Niagara Falls Botanical Gardens in Ontario, which is pretty close to where I live. That's the only one I've seen. So here's a Japanese umbrella pine hidden. Explosion, I'm pretty sure it's called. This is a Mimosa tree. No protection, came back, just starting to leaf out. Some more yuccas out front here. My rose bed, which I don't know if you grow roses, but I would not recommend it. They're a pain in the ass. Here's a little, I can't remember the name of this pine, but it's super slow growing. But I've seen mature specimens and they're beautiful. So I thought it'd be a cool little spot to kind of highlight it right here. Over here by the shed, just got a few conifers. Some more rhodies, large leafers too, Purus japonica. Another rhodie that the squirrels destroyed. This is large leaf magnolia that's just flushing out. Macrophylla. Grew that from seed. And this is the only plant really I've added this year. It's a Chinese redbud. These are really wild because they just flower across the entire stalk, branches everywhere, right to the base. This is an Evergreen Viburnum. It's a dwarf variety, from what I was told. More Yuccas. Hydrangea I just planted last fall, so that's why it's so tiny. Columnar style pine. Here's a really cool yucca. Seed grown from tin. Another Japanese umbrella pine. Spruce. White pine, spruce. This beautiful yucca right here, this monster. Weeping type yucca. Pencil cactus. Just starting to flush out. Pencil point junipers, these are really cool plants. More of that bamboo. Lots of yuccas. As you can tell, I love yuccas. A sumac, tiger eye sumac, just starting to flush out. This is a real tight and narrow blue spruce. This is a Himalayan pine. It got a little burn up, I'm not sure why, but the new growth looks really good. That's kind of marginal hardy here too. Let's see, more pines, yucca. Here's my side roadie garden I'm working on. This is a monkey puzzle tree that I do not protect. It's supposedly a hardier cultivar called Robusta Gira, or I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I mean, look at it. It does really well here, and I'm in a zone 6, so. These are all large leaf roadies, most of them for Tim too. Leatherleaf Mahogany, more roadies, big leafers. Southern Magnolia, Alta, cultivar. No protection, did super well for me. Little Japanese maple, Kryptomeria Japonica. Blue Atlas cedar. Very beautiful Japanese maple called aureum. The color only gets better over the summer. DeGroot Spire Arb. Sky pencil holly. This is that bamboo ground cover. It gets a little bit beat up over the winter, but I mean, it looks pretty good to me. But my plan is to just let this pretty much take over my gardens and just become ground cover everywhere, because I'm done with the whole mulching thing. That's annoying and costly. Lots of conifers, pines, you know. All my stuff is dwarfs really, because I have such a small yard, so I have to make sure it doesn't grow out its space. Weeping Norway spruce. My bamboo looks like it's doing pretty well this year. Got some decently tall shoots that popped out. Here's I believe it's called a Lithium Plant. Got that from Tim. Survives here. Pushing out new growth, so that's cool. Mountain laurel. Large leaf rhodies. Got a few blooms this year. That's a Fortunii. This one's a Suchinensis, or I'm not too sure on the pronunciation, but Calophytum. I have to cage all this stuff because the squirrels destroy it on me. They usually rip all the buds off. They leave me one or two. I got a few buds this year, but yeah, they typically just destroy everything on me. More large leaf rhodies all the way down there. Pine. I got this area tarped over just to kill all these weeds so I can start expanding into this area. Plum yew. This is a gorgeous tree once it gets older. The bark starts to almost like exfoliate, so it reminds me of a eucalyptus. Stewarsha. Beautiful tree once it matures. This is a pretty old tree, no question. It's an ash tree. It's very large. It's almost like two trees in one, honestly, because of the trunks. So it was dying last summer. It was in real rough shape from the emerald ash borer. And what they do is they come along and they make little tiny holes like that and lay their larvae or whatever, and they eat away the inside of the tree, tunneling through it until it's dead. And I don't think it takes long to kill it, a couple of years maybe, but we ended up getting an injection in it. You can see right here the little hole, Gizzy, and they just basically inject insecticide into it, and it takes care of them within a few days. But the arborist said it was definitely worth saving, and he was right. It came back really well this year. If you drive around the area, I mean, there's just ash trees everywhere dead. I don't see any living specimens anymore. But I really admire the bark on these trees. It's like a diamond shape. Really beautiful. Really intricate pattern. Hope you enjoyed my little tour on my small Zone 6 garden. I managed to cram a lot of plants in here though. I'll probably keep it updated once a month or so, just to check in with y'all. All right.